Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and today we're going to be talking about my thoughts and feelings and wrap up on my 30-day challenge to use as much yarn as I possibly can. I really hope this mic situation is okay. I really wanted to wear my Angora shawl. I am filming this Halloween week. This will be going up the Saturday after Halloween, so happy All Souls Day, you guys. But I needed. Anyway, so I hope this placement is okay. So I'm going to be honest, 30 days is a really long time to be doing something like this. It was a lot of fun. I'm not going to lie. It was a lot of fun to do the 30-day challenge, but it is a long time. Lots of things can happen, and life tends to happen when you do very long things like this. And we had, boy howdy, I sure did pick a 4-week or 5-week period to do one of these. I have spent all of 2024 trying to set aside time to do this. And starting mid-month actually worked best for me. And doing the extra 5 days worked best for the combination of life interference and the way life happened, as well as, we had the hurricanes rip through and my project plans kind of got flipped and turned upside down. And, it also worked best for filming, to be honest, having an even combination of days there to share for the vlogs. But it just a lot can happen in 30 days, and a lot of things can change in 30 days. So if you decide to really set aside to do a 30-day challenge like this, I do definitely recommend giving yourself a ton of grace. Accept life as life comes. Don't make yourself crazy over this. And definitely, if your plans change for how you're going to do things, roll with it. I had not initially planned on just making hats and scarves basically to donate. However, giant need came up. Like I said, Hurricane Helene came through and devastated Western North Carolina, parts of South Carolina. And I already had the goal of making 50 hats and scarves to donate here. So the need just kind of shifted while I was doing this 30-day challenge. And, it was great. I didn't mean to just use the Addy to use as much yarn as possible, because that kind of felt a little bit like cheating, but that did end up really being what happened. I made a bunch of granny squares and corner squares for blankets, but truthfully, a lot of what I got done was basically just using the Addy machine. So it probably should have changed the name of the challenge at some point. But if you followed the vlogs, or after this video is released, there will be a video with all 35 days together into one video. So if you want to go back and watch that, you'll kind of see where life. But it was a lot of fun at the same time. I got to tuck into some new shows. I finally watched the 2 Hot Takes podcast, which somebody said I really ought to be listening to. Kind of enjoyed that just a little bit. I got to go back and start rewatching some more of the original Robert Stack Unsolved Mysteries. The cats love it when I work up here, in particularly Banner. So he kind of lives up here, especially when it's cold, because it stays warmer upstairs. So he loves sleeping on the guest bed or on the sofa in the Frog. So when I'm working up here, he thinks it's just the greatest thing, because I'm visiting him versus him visiting me downstairs. So the bonding time with the cats was definitely a lot of fun. But it was fun, and it was fun to see what I was getting done. And I did have a lot of immediate fulfillment kind of thing, watching the ball bands stack up in my container. So I loved the experience. I definitely would do this again if I can set aside this kind of time again. But once again, when I set out goals like this, I know to give myself grace. I have low spoon days. I have just days. and that's okay. And a lot of the weeks I did take Sunday off to weave in ends. We sat downstairs and watched movies. And as a lot of this has taken place in the month of October, we've been watching a lot of horror movies and stuff. We tucked into a Beetlejuice marathon. You know, I made this fun in other aspects of my life as well. So, you know, not everything was just using the yarn. It was also finishing the projects as well. So, you know, overall good experience, would do it again, but I am also good at giving myself grace at not finishing goals because I set them out with good intention, but I don't think setting out these kinds of goals should be something that makes a process unpleasant for you. For me, this was a pleasant experience. Sorry, keep hitting my blinds. I'm not sure why my camera keeps slowly tilting further and further to the left there, but maybe that'll be a little bit better. So, this is all 5 weeks, all 35 days of ball bands. This is a giant tub of ball bands. And I have some stats for you guys. But I want to make one comment though. So one of the things I discovered while doing this challenge is 2016 to 2019 had some stellar deals. This is just driving me crazy. It's going all over the place. Oh, well. So a lot of the yarns that I used were actually deep stash. The yarn that I used to make the shawls, I know were from like 2017, 2018. The Red Heart Soft that I made the blanket panels out of, that's been in my stash 1, 5, 8, probably 10 years. The With Love has probably been in my stash about 12 years. I know there were some of the I Love This yarns that had been in there for a long time. A lot of these were purchased to make donation items anyway. So a lot of these were actually purchased on really good sales. A lot of like the Heartland was gifted to me that I used was gifted to me from my friend Erica, as well as the green Red Heart Soft I used, a number of the I Love This yarns when she got them on clearance. I purchased a bunch of clearance yarns over the years. So, you know, a lot of these were purchased with donations in mind. So they were already purchased, you know, 60% off or more on sale. But looking at some of those price tags and remembering the purchasing experience, like the Spin Right warehouse sale yarns, when those used to ship to the US, some of these deals were just so incredible. And it's one of the reasons why my stash got so out of control. I mean, when you find good quality yarns like Heartland on sale for $1, you tend to snag those. And there were a lot of deals like that. And I know a lot of them were between 2016 and 2019. There were just some phenomenal deals. That was another thing I realized doing this is we had this peak era of really good clearance deals. So make sure there's nothing else before we start rolling into the stats. Because I know at the end of the day, truthfully, that is what you guys are interested in, is knowing what did I actually use over the course of this time. So in finished objects, so this isn't the leftovers or anything else. This isn't counting up the ball bands, just the weight of finished objects. For the Addy, it was 22,604 grams. The crochet totals were 354 grams. The squares, parts, and panels that are in the unfinished items, 4,717 grams, which gave us a total of 27,675 grams of yarn. Our yardage total for all of this in finished objects was 64,080. So that means that I used 61.1 pounds of yarn, and it is the equivalent to 36.4 miles. So that's a lot of yarn. 60 pounds of yarn, stretching out almost 40 miles. That was a lot of yarn. That was a lot of yarn used. That's a lot of ball bands. By the way, it's 221 ball bands. I used 221 ball bands worth of yarn. Now, truthfully, there were some of those that were not 100% full. But most of those were 100% full. Like over 75% of those were brand new skeins of yarn. And I still use 221 skeins of yarn. And not all of those are 100-gram skeins of yarn. The FO equivalent, not the skeins equivalent, not the ball band equivalent, the FO equivalent, you know, what we think of as like a standard ball of yarn, a standard skein of yarn, these are 100-gram balls. 276.75 in finished objects. Not the actual balls, because I do have a tote of leftovers and scraps over there. Anything that's under 50% of the skein weight and cannot be like easily kept in the ball band, to me that is a scrap. A leftover means that the ball band will kind of still hang out with it. Everything over there is under, pretty much everything over there is under leftover threshold. So I used 3 balls of fingering, 4 balls of wool blend, 11 basic acrylic, 90 premium acrylics, 9 jumbo skeins, and 23 cakes of yarn. I used 17 skeins of Premier Basic, 6 skeins of Vantage Choice, 13 skeins between the Premier Anti-Pilling and the Universal Uptown Worsted, 43 skeins of I Love This Yarn, 11 skeins of Red Heart Super Saver, 22 skeins of Red Heart Soft. Broken down by the brands, 3 from Knit Picks, 4 from Bernat, 40 from Premier or Universal, 29 from Lion Brand, 59 from Hobby Lobby, 34 from Red Heart, 5 from Peyton's, 4 tent sales, and 34 that fell into the other category. That is a lot of yarn. I don't even know if all this is going to fit in my box that I have downstairs for my ball bands for the year, but I will try to cram it all in there somehow, some way. I know my jumbo bulldog clips will not clip this yarn together because I had trouble clipping 64 balls together. So of the projects, what did I actually get done? Just in the 30-day challenge, which ended up stretching to 35 days, I completed ready to donate 60 sets that are hats and scarves, 5 hats separate to donate, 3 sets that will be either kept or gifted, enough panels to do, tube panels to do 1 full adult size blanket plus some extra, 3 panels for another blanket, enough panels to make 2 different shawls. And one of those I already have pieced together. So I've got to give myself credit. I stuck with it. I did it. I have things ready to go. I am actually going to separate the donation items later this week and send some to Asheville and prepare the ones to be dropped off here locally. But I'm going to be honest, like I did not think this was going to be as successful of a challenge as it ended up being. Part of that success is that it ended up primarily being an Addie thing, but really, that's still a lot. And once again, you know, I've been really, really, really trying to work my stash down. We are definitely to the point where there's less visual noise. I'm finding things a lot easier and a lot better. So I am being very successful with the goal of using my stash. But truthfully, I did not think this would end up being as remotely as successful as it has been. And truly, I need to thank you guys. One of the things I really haven't mentioned in doing any of the vlog wrap ups or anything is just how supportive you guys have been during the course of this process. There are so many new subscribers that have joined in, new people who have come in to kind of just throw their 2 cents in and everything else. But you guys have really been incredibly supportive during the course of this 30-day challenge, watching the vlogs, reaching out, asking questions, and being engaged. And so many of you guys also took this time to play along with me, make your own donation items, work through your own stash, go through some of the projects that you've had kind of hanging out. And it has been so much fun for me to see what you guys and hear what you guys are working on as well. But I do really want to thank you guys for your support in this 30-day challenge, because it has been a lot of fun. And like I said, you know, life just kind of took a that way. And seeing how many other people have decided to join in because of this really did just make me very happy. But seeing you guys supporting me and supporting each other as you're also doing the same thing, it just, it makes me happy. This is my happy time. I enjoy making things. I enjoy production of things. I enjoy learning new things, and experiencing this with you guys has really been a lot of fun for me. So I wanted to thank you guys so much for the support and the encouragement, the commentary and everything else that you guys have provided in this last 30 days. So it's been an adventure, and I am so glad that we got to take this together. I can't wait to see what the last things you guys do for your section of the 30-day challenge, because by the time this comes up, it'll be your 4th week, 5th week. So I'm looking forward to seeing what those projects are. But thank you. Thank you guys so much. I am going to go ahead and head off. I have a lot of stuff still left to do today, and I really want to start getting like my desk cleared off from some of these projects. But I love you guys. I hope you are having a wonderful, fantastic day. I look forward to seeing you real soon. Please take care of yourselves. Bye, you guys.